While editing yesterday's video, I realized that I wasn't grounded enough. Most of the points I wanted to make, I didn't actuate them. I think because I was rushing, then because it was roughly unplanned. That was my first video. So today, I want to try my best where I take my time with the topics, then I break them down into segments. I don't know if that's making sense. So when we are talking about career growth, we are talking about career growth. When we are talking about money, we are talking about money. When we are talking about women, we are talking about women. Firstly, today we are talking about fear. I think that's a very important topic. I had a busy time because I had to quickly sort out some things. But I had to quickly take out my time to pen down some stuff. Starting from the definition of fear, meaning of fear, definition of fear, why people are fearful. While I was trying to Google the meaning of fear, Google brought something up and it brought definition of fear by the Bible according to the Bible. And I found that like really interesting. Because one of the one of the core points that I like to actuate fear is religion. I like to believe religion is one of the things that ginger us to ignore fear. It's more like when you are fearful of God, why do you fear humans? Let's start with definition of fear. Cambridge definition of fear. We have noun, an unpleasant emotion or thought that you have when you are frightened or worried by something dangerous, painful, or bad that is happening or might happen. Fear is an emotion. So that part is something that I want people to note because I think you acting on it is the um, altering thing that could alter your life. You disregarding it, that's what we want. More of what we want. Fear. Everybody feels fear. I think top performance in different industries. You when you watch their videos, you realize that they are fears. The definition of fear by Google, you have an unpleasant emotion caused by the threat of danger, pain, or harm. So the verb definition, be afraid of someone or something as likely to be dangerous, painful, or harmful. So it could be a verb, it could be a noun. Google search. The fear of man and of evils are dangers to be avoided. Fear is the natural consequence of sin. I found that one funny because it means that you are only meant to be fearful when you know that you are meant to be punished. It's something I could connect to because fear is something that I had to break free from. And I think part of why we are fearful in this part of the world, like every other African parent, my parents used to, not every other, because I know that some parents they used to beat their kids. I think that's like one of the roots, one of the foundations to my fears, where I know that when I do something and it's something to be gone against, maybe something I shouldn't be doing, or something someone else believes I shouldn't be doing, even though it makes sense to me that I should be doing that thing, because they believe I shouldn't be doing that thing, I'll be punished for it. Do you understand? For instance, as a kid now, and I wasn't even stubborn. I don't think I was stubborn. I liked playing games. Now, from my father's perspective, playing game is something. As an adult now, I now derailing you playing games and all those things could beat your life. As a kid, I didn't know. So I used to like get caned a lot because I'll leave home to go and play game. When my father comes back, he's pissed that I left home to go and play game there. He wants to punish me for that. I don't know if I'm making sense. And I used to get caned like a lot. That was not even my only instance of fear. When I was in secondary school, different instances where fear stems from the African background. A lot of things speak fear to you, and it's because you have seen results. Sometimes those results they were negative, and now you're trying to be conservative. You don't want to do things because you don't want negative results. You don't want backlash. The fear of man and of evils are danger to be avoided, from which the fear of God delivers. That further point is essential to me because one of the reasons why I don't have fears like that is because I feel like I'm here for a reason. As long as I'm not dead, I kind of feel like there's something to look forward to. There's something to go for. So if I if I have an image in my head, maybe I want to do something. I just want to do it because I don't know the realities that could be open from that thing. And I know that fear limits me. Once I don't do it, I would never know what would happen from that thing. Look at what we have on YouTube now. I would never know who would watch these videos. I would never know how far they could go if I don't make them. So now, if I do it, I just tell myself that, oh, I've done my part. And it alleviates my worries. I can't lie. The fact that I do things, you have fear because you are not doing. I honestly believe you have fear because you are not doing. So the more you do, the less your fears. Just keep doing, keep applying, keep applying, keep applying as much as possible. And yeah, just keep applying. Let's get back to the definitions. I don't want to talk too much before I want to first finalize on the stuff that I saw online. Then I can now yap as much as I like. Because I saw the Google search and because I had like read stuffs from the Bible previously, and I kind of believe that religion is one of the core reasons why my fears are alleviated. I went deep down. I went to Psalm. This was the first one I went to. I went to Psalm 23:4. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. I hold this thing there. I hold it there where even when I get like no's and I get like negative responses, I keep it up here. Yeah, everything I do. And I don't say this because I know there are some people watching this and they are not righteous and they'll think, oh, I'm perfect myself. I'm not saying this from a place of perfection and righteousness. I'm saying this as an human being. I do things that are unjust. I'm not one to come and sit you down and lecture you. I decided to talk about that part because I think when I say things sometimes people will think I've been just all my life and they might want to make an example of me. Do you understand? And I like to note that like every other person, I'm a sinner. I'm I'm not the one to judge you. You're the one, it's your life. But I want you to know that fear is something that creeps in because you believe that God is not by your side. As long as you believe that God has put you here, you're here for a reason, you will do things. Things will not do you. Things will do you self, but you self you will do things. Do you understand that kind of thing? So even when things happen to you and they happen to be negative, you believe that there's a lesson in it. There's a reason why that negative thing is happening. And when things happen that are good, you believe that oh God has sent you so that thing for so reasons. So blessings, everything in life you start to see from a perspective of blessing. And when you see everything from a perspective of blessing, when you get no's, it doesn't deprive you from doing things. You still want to do things because your no are also blessings. They are redirection. They are directing you to the path where you get your yes. Do you get? Because I read Psalm 23:4, I decided to go on ChatGPT and I asked definitions of love by the Bible. And we got some verses. I got Proverbs, I got Isaiah, I got 2 Timothy. Proverbs 9:10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Isaiah 41:10. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. 2 Timothy 1:7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. God has not given us a spirit of fear. God has not given us a spirit of fear. Now we are done with all the definitions. I think they cut across each other where you realize that with God you have no fears. A good scenario that I like to cite also is in the Quran. When the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, I think they went to Medina and they were trying to kill the Prophet. I think the Prophet was from Medina, so they went to Mecca. So when they went to Mecca, there was a time when they wanted to kill the Prophet and they had to like hide. I attended it was. I can't say it as accurate as possible. I think it was Tabatiada or something. Forgotten. And they wanted to kill the Prophet. And the Prophet was just faith. Faith. The disciples, people that followed the Prophet on the journey, they were scared. And they escaped. It's my belief. You don't know how far back we have gone for us to get this back. Do you understand my point? A lot of things will happen. You have to choose faith over fear. Both of them, they require you to believe in something. That when I listen to this guy's song, Priest, Akonichi, I love the beginning of the song like a lot, and it's because it reflects like my thought process on life, where both faith and fear they require you to believe in something. It's you that will choose what you believe in. I don't speak from the point of an atheist. Are they called atheist or atheist? I don't care. People that don't believe in God. I firmly believe in God, regardless of the religion. I seek God. I believe I'm where I'm at today because of God. I've been lucky enough. I don't even like to call it luck. I like to call it blessed. I've been blessed enough. And He keeps blessing me. I pray He doesn't take His oil away from my head. Do you understand? And I believe the same oil on my head, you have it. Every person has it. Everybody above me, I see them as humans. And I believe that they are where they are at because of God has ordained them to be there. And because I believe God is the one that ordains, I believe it's a journey. They went through a journey and they got to where they are at. They followed through with that journey. So I try my own best too, to just follow through with my journey, and God is going to get me to where I'm at. That's faith. So you have to believe in something. Either you choose fear or you choose faith. Once you choose fear over faith, that means you are doubting God. And if you strongly believe that God has put you here for a reason, God is the reason why you're here, God is backing you, why are you scared? I like to also note that from my own perspective, actually, fear, how we start fear is by results. You don't just wake up one morning and say, I'm confident. You could actually. There are days when I wake up and I'm not confident enough and I delete myself. But I'm able to delete myself because I have like a I have track record of results. I didn't just wake up and I got here. I don't know if it's making sense. I have always been poised with challenges. Challenges they ever come and I never face them. Do you get that kind of thing? I strategize, I pen down, I do whatever. You can start fear by results. So from an early age, let's cite me as an instance. So I used to suffer low self-esteem. Like I was very, very low. I didn't really have confidence in myself. In secondary school, if I had a task and I needed to do it, let's talk about women. Let's not talk because every other thing in secondary school. No, let's not talk about women. Let me talk about when I disgraced myself on the podium. So in secondary school, we do assembly, and during assembly, a student is supposed to be challenged to give speech. When they tell you to go up on the podium, a lot of people, it's like a normal thing for them. But for people like me that are scared of people, it's a lot. Do you understand? It felt like it look as if the earth is crumbling. Whereas these things are privilege. I wish I could go back in time. And that's why I do all these things. Because a lot of times I feel like a lot of things have been done that I didn't partake in. So I try my best now to just partake. I want to live life. I'm eager. Growing up, if you see yourself as a loser comparatively, I think that's where low self-esteem comes from. I think it comes from you seeing yourself as a loser. It's a loser mindset. So if you see yourself as, I'm sorry for being rude like that, but this is something that I suffered. And if I tell you there's a loser mindset, it is. Winners do not have no self-esteem because you know that you are going to win. So why are you going to be scared? So it's a loser mindset. If you are defeated mentally already, there's a high chance that when you climb the podium, you will say rubbish. There was a period I was on the podium, and that's the one I wanted to cite initially. I was on the podium, and the topic of mention was something that they had taught us in civic. I defeated myself mentally. What I was meant to do was prepare for that thing. I didn't prepare. I just believe I couldn't do it. And I wanted to pass it on to someone else. Unfortunately for me, I couldn't pass it on to someone else. So I had to go and do my thing. And in doing my thing, I felt woefully. I was actually punished for this one. The proprietor, the principal, because when you are about to leave the stage, you have to give the mic to the next person to come on stage. And I'm done giving my speech. I think my speech was on attitude. And I thought I was talking about attitude. Apparently, I was just saying gibberish, just saying rubbish. And give the man the mic. And from the stern look he gives me, I could tell that I've done rubbish entirely. And he says, Gani, you're gonna kneel down there. Very funny occurrence. So it's funny now because I'm an adult and I've grown beyond that level. Back to what I was talking about when I cited that a lot of people, when I say a lot of people that used to be winners then and have been defeated, and are slightly defeated now, and I want things to change for them. If they see videos like this, or at least I'm doing my part to ensure things change for them, is that compared to them, me, I was a loser. I was losing this life game. Do you understand? And luckily for me, I started seeing like few wins. So for instance now, as a loser, I'm able to actuate a win. So I get one win. I hold that win dearly. I can track, oh, for instance now, when I go into uni, um, I tell people this is one of my early stories to one of the things that made me confident in life. One of my early successes. Compliment. A lady complimented me. Before I go into uni, I suffered low self-esteem. And there was a period I was at home, so I was sad. And my dad got back home. And shout out my parents. My parents are lovely people. But my dad is resting in peace right now. My dad got back home, and my attitude towards him was bad. Unlike every other African parent that wants to like beat you or stomp more on you, my dad now comes in. My dad is actually a cool guy. I didn't realize that up until like later in life. My dad is a very, very chill guy, cool guy. So my dad comes inside and he's like, he sits um in front of me on the bed. So he got back and he said he had noted that for the past 3 days I had not been coming to greet him. He comes back and it takes like a long time for me to come to the sitting room to come and greet him. That's a bad, very bad attitude. And instead of him to come and judge me or castigate me for not coming to greet him, he decides that as an adult now, it's one of the things that I reflect on and makes me want to do better. He, as an adult, he could see better into my life then. I think he just knew that if I had better clothes, if I had things that I thought other people had, and that was why they were who they were, I would poise myself to be a better person. I don't know if it's making sense. I hope it's making sense. But from his perspective then, they wanted me to feel loved. Because I think for you to be a loser, part of you being a loser is that you don't think you are lovable. You don't think people, you don't think your opinions count. You don't think you are someone yet. And we are all someone. With whatever level you are at, you are someone. You're of importance. I value you. A lot of people value you. A lot of people value you. A lot of people that are going to crime today said they do it because of they think they are not loved. And some people, a lot of people will love you. They will love you for who you are. I promise you. Just try your best to be as righteous as possible. Change your ways, be a good person. Even if you're a bad person, there are people that will love you for who you are. Compared to now, you that are now a good person. So my dad got back home. He called my principal. Not my principal, I called my we have mistresses in our hostel. And I was an hostel student while in secondary school. So he called them because I narrated my experience to him while I was in secondary school. It took like 2, 3 days, this whole conversation. And they were really, really involved. My parents were actually really involved. That's one of the turning points of my life. And that's why I'm noting it in this video. My parents were really, really involved. They made me know that I was loved. Like, oh, they love me a lot. My mom did something to me, something personal. I misplaced that money and the method, and I told her to. And they apologized for all those things. They felt sorry. These are people that love me, and they do everything they do for me. And me that they are doing it for in return, I don't even see it that they are doing it. I feel the sacrifices, they can see from their perspective that they are sacrificing. But from my perspective, I'm suffering. So my dad, he calls my mistress, the mistress of our hostel, and he's like, "Oh, why would you do someone like this?" He comes back home to tell me. He comes back home to tell me, and as an adult now, I think it's reassurances where he makes me know that he loves me. After that, they gave me clothes. They gave me going into uni. I was a proper big boy in uni. 100 level uni. People used to think my parents were really, really rich. They got me a lot of clothes. And I know a lot of people do not have these privileges. So I'm just saying it like, these are things that you could do. He got me a lot of clothes. So when I got into uni, first week of uni, there was this very fine girl, and this is one of the reasons why I'm like pretty confident. Very, very fine girl like this. A lot of boys like that. And this girl, you're like, oh, who does she have a crush on? And she's like, oh, Demola. Was it Demola or Ganiyu? I can't remember. But I got a hold of the information. It suits me for bush. And because I had that mini boost, I was opportunity to like meet people. People I thought were upper echelon, like I'm here. I thought they were here. Because of our clothes, luckily for me, they saw us as equals. And at the time, we were actually equals. I'll show you a lot of times when you have low self-esteem. Some of all these people, you and them, nothing really differentiates you. Nothing. Nothing. I have insane confidence in myself right now, where that's what just do matter means. Because I kind of believe like God is the one that does things. So even when people have more resources than me, and I'm me, I believe that there's a unity somewhere. I believe that if Wizkid has done something, I can do it. If anybody, name it. Even, and it's insane where even people abroad that have reached to more amenities than me. I like to believe, oh, they have access to a camera, I have access to a camera. Anything they can do, I can do. If Kasinat can start a streaming platform, a streaming channel, if I want to go into streaming, I could actually achieve as much as Kai Cenat. It's going to be tough. It's not going to be all rosy. I have to make sacrifices, this and that. But everything that this person have done, I can do it. And it started from something little like that. Now that brings us to the point that I wanted to cite, that if you have fears, sometimes the fears they are rooted in something. There are stuff that give your faith power. There are stuff that give fear power. So the more you do things that give your faith power, the lesser your fears. I hope that's making sense. For instance, if you think you can't talk to someone because your clothes are not nice, that's why you have AUG. I try my best. These clothes are affordable. You can buy one or two. Wear them. Go to places. They are confidence boosters. Do you understand? Dress nicely. When you are able to dress nicely, that way you know for a fact that, oh, this person is not looking me less because of my clothes. Do you understand? It starts from there. Over time, you have to empower what's here, where even when you are not dressing nicely or entirely nicely, what is here keeps you, you know that you are that guy. You understand that kind of thing? You have to be, but pending the time you're able to build that sufficiency. These are things that first get you in the room. If you think smell is also a very, very important thing. Try your best. Bathe every day. Use perfume. They are cheap perfumes. They are 3K perfumes, 4K perfumes, 5K, 10K. Look for something within your budget. You don't have to use Louis Vuitton. You don't have to use Oud, Kenekon. You don't have to use anything. Use what your money can attain. Try your best to not buy stenches that smells that are not nice. I've seen fragrances that are cheap. Perfume oils. When I wasn't making enough money, I was using perfume oils. Even now, with perfume I just use like better perfumes now. But at the same time, there were times I use perfume oils. I've used mist. Just try your best. Whatever thing that you think will get you going, will get you in the room, get them. If you think you're not knowledgeable enough, skill up. There's no way that if you are scared to apply for a job, it means you think you don't have the skills required for that job. So what you are meant to do, go and learn. I'm not scared to make videos now because I think I can edit fairly, even though my edit is rusty, but I think it's still something that's worthy of view. What's here is solid enough. So I said I'll be talking about confidence as regards fear as regards women and fear as regards career or money, career progression or money. Fear as regards women. Let's start with women. I think we take the easy one first. So when I was in secondary school, I could barely talk to women. Aside the fact that I was a science student, so a lot of the women are kind of like were in science class. So my reach to these people, it wasn't that far. I don't know if it's making sense. All of us happen. It's a community. We are in school. So, and at the time, I think moving to Lagos was my first real instance with classism. There were people in secondary school that were like this. We used to do a lot of big boys. But on the side, you could still talk to them. You know, all of us are students. We are still together. But from secondary school, I know guys that could talk to women like a lot. I can't. I couldn't, actually. It took me, the first time I asked a woman out, and thank God that was a success. It took to go. I liked her from when we were in school. And I waited till holiday season so I could like, let me hide behind my keypad to send message to this person. Apparently she liked me back. Imagine. And I waited that long for me to achieve a love story. This is corny because in my secondary school they don't allow it. A lot of rules. You see, rules are funny because a lot of these adults, me as an adult now, I know that a lot of these adults, they know that these rules, they don't really apply. They just make these rules. In my secondary school, they don't allow dating. So there's that to note. But it wasn't because of the fear of the rule that I wasn't dating. It was because I was scared of women. I was scared of rejection. So fear mostly it comes from rejection. What if you are rejected? But what if you are accepted? You would never know what's on the other side of fear unless if you apply. So you have to, after you do all those things I've mentioned earlier, try your best to look your best. Try your best to, when you try your best to do all those things and you're making effort on yourself, you should apply. Now, there are regards where you would get a lot of no's actually. Opportune for me, the first woman I asked out, she said yes. But that's concerning women. And even though I had a yes at the time, it wasn't enough to alter my head. I still felt like I wasn't enough. And as regard that, you see, so now talking in regard, I like to believe that if you are not shooting, don't settle for less. But at the same time, you should shoot at your level. If you're applying for a job, when you are just like building out, because you need the confidence like it's born knowledge. You need reserve. It's in your ass now. When you have like yes, they're in your ass now. The days that you start getting no's, they don't count as much because you have like a lot of years. You know that years are possible. You need to open your head to that possibility. First thing first, you need to open your head to that possibility. So as regards women, you should look for women that are within your pocket frame. In Nigeria, because that's something. So it's an argument. Some people, they want to argue it and say, oh, a lot of women, this, that. Nah. I don't subscribe to the school of thought that women are livestock that we are purchasing. But on the side, except if you are not being real with yourself, I want you to be as true to yourself as possible. Recognize the part that, oh, these are women within my range. These are actual women that I know. They are women, except if you are being delusional or you are entirely bad. And I don't even believe that anyone is entirely bad. There's always something for you. Like if you don't have money, there are women that don't have money also. I don't know, on social media these days, they make it seem tougher. But when I was in uni, as I don't have money, there are women that don't have money. We are meant for each other now. Definitely it takes effort. I could go to Mama Cass to buy 1,000 naira food for you. I don't think those things are accessible now. I could take you to SUB. These things, 100 naira, 150 when I was in uni, will get you like a meal. So this is act of service. You need to show people that you care about them. In return, these people, they'll show you that they care about you. Sometimes you don't even need to do anything. You just need to exist. Let the woman know that you like her, and she likes you back. Simple. If you have no self-esteem, you are starting life out from a very the earlier you can now even conquer it, the better. Because this life, there's a lot to be lived, a lot of things to experience in this life, a lot of love to experience, a lot of love to give, a lot of love to receive. And the more yes you can get, I don't want you to go for women that you actually do not like. At your stage, you will meet people that will actually like you, they will be willing to suffer with you. I hope. And I hope that you do this like as early as possible in your career progression, because the higher you go, the harder it is. If someone in secondary school is watching these videos, that's the perfect time. If someone in primary school, I don't know, but I think secondary school is a fair point. If you're in SS1, SS2, SS3, there are girls that are in your class that you like. So the more you can talk to these girls, the more you can now put it in your arsenal. You know that, oh, there are people that genuinely like you. They don't need you to have money before they like you. They don't need you to do whatever before they like you. They genuinely like you. And once you can tell yourself as regards that, oh, I'm enough. Once you already know you are enough, there's no woman you can talk to. I assure you. I assure you. So now let's get into career or money. When you are fearful, yeah, the prior point, it lapses into this. When you are scared of losing money, there's a high chance you will lose money. I had like a very early instance into that one. I think 2018, 2017. I think Anonymous or someone, they posted, scared money don't make no money. Clap for that guy. Scared money don't make no money. If you are scared of losing money, you would not make any money. If you are scared of doing things, you would not do things. And because you have not done things, you would not still do anything. When you are chasing a career, it's good to note the people that you, for instance, the way I'm in clothing now, look at Cortez, look at Nike. I think founder of Nike is Phil something, I forgot, Phil Knight. Look at Cortez, Nigeria guy, what's his name? In the UK. Look at Sloan. These are people where, look at Shake. They felt fear. Like all of us, we are humans. Everything I've achieved in life, before I achieved them, I felt fear. And after I achieved them, I realized, oh, what was I scared about? So that rewires your brain. The more you do, the less your fear. It's not enough that you can get yourself an LGT to boost your confidence. You have to actually do things. So you start with doing easy things. When you do easy things and you have conquered it, you realize that, oh, these hard things, oh, I think I can't do this thing. It's important for you to rewire your head again. That hard thing, let me go at it. Now, the privilege that it gives you is that when you do one hard thing and you see it to a level of success, when you are doing the next hard thing, it's probably harder than the previous hard thing that you had done. But because you have done that previous hard thing, today when you are doing this hard thing now, this one is your checkpoint. It makes you, so I'll do this one. And I promise you, when you do this one again, because life is a non-ending battle, you'll be tempted to want to pick on cheap battles. I want you to pick on another tough battle. That's what I do. Pick up another tough battle. If this tough battle is getting to you and you're unable to achieve it, dial back, come to this level, do other. This one, you're not even playing at people's level, I promise you. When you do hard things, if you're able to conquer one hard thing, one or two hard things, you do. Now you're playing at this level, this is your own easy level. But that your easy level, at some point, that was like hard. And that means that you are doing hard things now. And before you know it, when you do that thing for a while again, return to chasing that other thing that you want to go for. When you go for it again, if it seems hard, just keep at it. I run a clothing brand. I think we have not achieved the kind of success I want us to achieve. I dive back to other places that have seen successes. Oh, I can do this well. Let me do this thing. I can do this. Those things are not easy. But because I've gotten to that point where I can do those things. Now, to some people, those things are extremely easy. And now, sometimes I even dial down to very, very easy. I play games sometimes. I tell people that when I can't find any win at all, I use games to find wins. Because I can play game very well, I'm not as good again. A lot of people have a match that I'm trying to avoid now because they want to beat me. But because I used to be really, really good with playing games, every time when life has become tough for me, when I want to dial back, when it becomes extremely tough, and I do these hard things that are at my level now, and they appear to be hard, I take time off. I play games. I play games. You could take time off. If you are racking up a lot of no's, I think because confidence, fear is only like, you can only attack fear when you are confident. Take time off, unwind, do whatever to just ensure that your confidence is there. So I play games sometimes, and when I play games, it's like, oh, for me to win, because game, it takes your head. You are outthinking someone. People will think it's easy. You play chess. It's not an easy thing to become a king in chess. It's not easy. For me to kill your king in chess, it's not easy. I can outthink you. A lot of things come into play. And now, I don't even really play chess again. I play FIFA. To play FIFA, some people tell you that it's a very easy game. Old pad, come beat boys. Old pad, beat boys. You are outthinking someone. You are thinking for 11 players. How do I throw that pass? How do I do this? There are factors that are beyond your control, but a lot of factors are within your control, and you have to perfect those factors within your control. You have to find wins out of it. Oh, how can I win? Oh, but boy, they have like a strong defense. Let me start playing outside shots. Oh, this person, he has a weak defense, but his midfield is strong. So I can't really see chance for outside shot. I have to get in his box. This person, he knows how to use keeper cursor. I have to use R2 for my shots. A lot of thoughts. So I try my best. That's my own means. I try my best to just like get win somewhere. You just have to win somewhere. Pending the time you can win as what you want. So because the things that I would like you to know is that you have to keep getting better. You have to keep bettering yourself. The better you are, the lesser your fears. You have to keep doing things. And when things are not happening for you, you have to dial back to when things happen for you. When things are not even happening for you and you dial back, you have to step into the mental strength that you have. And hopefully, because all these things, it takes God. I pray we never see losses that return us to a point where we don't have faith. I pray we never see setbacks. So, as much as I like to dive into all these things, I also like to acknowledge that every point is God. Is God. I try my best to get more knowledgeable. I try my best to do things. I have this faith that when things do not go for me, is a reroute. And during that reroute, I'm just like, I keep my eye open for opportunities. It's like, oh, what can I be doing? Oh, okay, YouTube, I can Sheba. I can share YouTube. Kilatile Sheba. Come back. So, in the middle of all those things, I always find a way. In the middle of this journey, I know something is going to work. All these things, it's not as easy as I put it. But on the side, I pray to God. God will help you through it. I pray to God like a lot. And after I pray to God, I just look at it from that perspective. That I pray to God. Now it's left in God's hands. And I will be damned if I don't do my own part. Because another reason why these things are important to me. I watched Lucifer, and that was like a good turning point in my life. When I watched Lucifer, talking about heaven and hell. So, and I saw it from a point where heaven and hell is a state of mind. Imagine a life where your heaven is that you live life, and when you are dead, you can reminisce on the moments like, oh, I actually did live life. I didn't leave anything up to chance. Do you understand? And imagine hell as a state of mind where you live in regrets or in agony, where you look at yourself and you're like, oh, I didn't live life. I should have did this, I should have did that, I was scared of this, I was scared of that. And it's a repetition in your head for eternity. And it doesn't end. That's why it's crazy. It doesn't end. For life. Now, I might be wrong and I might be right. And I also have like another analogy. I believe Earth is Garden of Eden. I believe a lot of things in the spiritual books, they are earlier on in life, we were told that Jesus used to speak in parables. So, if we believe God is the Father, it's not rocket science. He speaks in parables. When Adam and Eve, they were living in heaven, according to the Bible. So, God opened their eyes. It wasn't like, in my head, it wasn't like God took them away from the Garden of Eden. They are in the Garden of Eden. And if we believe that we can trace our history back to them, it's good to note that we are in heaven. We are already in heaven. It's a state of mind. We are already there. We don't have to wait till we die before we get to heaven. If you think money is going to take away your fears, it won't. It's you doing things from now. That I've seen people make ridiculous songs. I've seen people make good songs. A lot of people have made good songs. They are still scared. They don't have the confidence that some of you even have. That they don't have the confidence that me I have. They can't speak when you speak. Now it's because you do things. And if you don't do things, they don't cover for it. Career progression, there are people that make money from maybe Forex, for instance, or crypto, or whatever means that they make their money from. And they can't put into their career. So it's something where it stages. And my life, it revolves. I don't have rich parents. I didn't just wake up one morning and I just do things. I started making money. I started investing in FX. I started getting track record from FX. That's what makes me a Forex trader. Today now I've made instances where I've started these things. I try my best to say I'm whatever because I'm everything. Do you understand? But on this side, that's my own story. Is that I build a bit of security for myself. When it gets rough, I can dial back. When it gets good, I can do this. And I just keep up that journey like that. And that's one of the things that keep up my faith. You might be maybe a medical doctor, for instance. I think that one is rocket science. You go to school, you get employment. My dad was an engineer, so you go to school, you get employment. You just know the more certifications you get, the higher you go in that career. But now, let's say a creative, for instance. If you claim to be a creative, if you don't create, there's no way. If they give you 100 million today, you would finish that money, and you will still not have the confidence that some people have. For you to conquer fear, you have to build evidences. You have to look the part. I've stated points. I just want you to note them at different instances. But the most essential point is that faith and fear, they need you to believe in something. So now, you need to take faith over fear. Then you need to do more things that boost your faith. More things that will boost your faith. You will be eager to apply for a job when you know you are overqualified for the job. Why won't they employ you? Now, when you get no's, it's normal for you that, what's happening? I thought I was overqualified for this job. You can take out the time. I tell my brother, when during periods of slow in my life, I try my best to read more books. And it's how I see life. I think during the period of highs, I'm tasked with what's up here. When I have money, I'm tasked with what to do with the money. When I don't have money, I'm tasked with what to learn for the times I have the money. When I don't have money for FX and I want to go back into FX, I create a demo account. I test my strategy out. Okay, I think this strategy is working. At any time when the money reaches my hand, I go into that strategy and now it works. Do you understand? Because I've back tested it. It's not every time it works like that. But the point stands. I hope you understand it from that perspective. So you do more things that help your faith. The more you do more things that help your faith, the more your fear subsides. It reduces. The more you progress, the lesser your fears. I can't be scared of going to zero now because I've gotten to this point of my life. When it keeps going back, when I keep regressing, I'll be scared. But it won't be, the fear of going to zero is not what creeps up in my mind entirely. Do you understand? And because I've built evidences, so it's like, I'll just dial back to this point. I'll just do these things. Okay, how can I create more security for myself? What can I do? When I talk to people sometimes, they think I'm a nepo baby. I've had instances. it used to be something where I used to find it flattering. But now I don't find it flattering. The same opportunities that I have, a lot of Nigerians have them. My ways are not entirely smooth, but I can assure you, and even me saying my ways are not smooth, a lot of people are caught in my web where the same um, the same road I applied, they're applying the same route, and um, they tend to still think there's like a rocket science to my being. There's no rocket science to it. It's conscious effort, continuous day-to-day effort. I was opportune that I started from a low point. So luckily for me, every win meant something. I could track. When I got my first compliment, it felt like, oh, what are the things I was doing right? I could track that, oh, because my parents love me. Look at these clothes. A lot of people market the clothes for me. Do you understand? When I started out, a lot of people were not marketing the clothes for me. Even my friends that were buying the clothes, they were just buying it personally. I didn't really feel the love. Some of them claimed to love it. But I myself, I didn't really feel like they were loved. But I just like kept up. Oh, let me just keep doing this thing. At some point, let me perfect it. Let me do this. At some point, people will love it. I don't want you to, as for a person, I don't want you to believe that you're perfecting yourself to be loved. But I want you to get better for yourself. Like, oh, I want you to first even love yourself. You don't need to be loved for you to love yourself. If they don't love you, love yourself. Love yourself. Anytime anybody loves you, love yourself. I was opportune to have parents that actually love me. It's a privilege. I know some people don't have that privilege. But regardless of how life is, regardless of the hardship of life, I was opportune to have parents that actually do love me. They didn't need me to have money. They didn't need me to have things in order. They actually loved me as their child. My father, rest in peace to him, he loves me. My dad even used to do competition, because when I realized, maybe because he felt like he had fucked up, and so he used to want to do a lot of things to cover for those fuck ups that he thought he fucked up. I like to believe that my life had to happen the way it happened, and your life too. You're not here for you're here for a reason, and the fact that you are here for a reason and you are loved is something. I want you to operate from that point where you know that this life loves you. You are here for a reason. This life loves you. Your scenario now, it might look as if it's entirely bad, but it is meant to shape you into who you are like to become. If you don't have money, if you grow from poverty, for instance, where your parents, some people come from broken homes. I don't know your story because I didn't live your story. I won't know your pain points. But there are people that know your pain points and they have grown into what they have grown into. It comes with, I don't want you to even have PTSD. Sometimes I want people to not have to suffer these things. That's why I castigate that we have useless politicians in this country. But on the side, some people, you are condemned to that fate. But that fate is not you. I want you to know that fate is not you. It could create fears in you. It could have like catalyzed all these things. But I want you to genuinely know that yours do not matter. The fact that that's where you come from does not mean that becomes of you entirely. That was you. It has molded you into something. I want you from this point onward to now start looking at your life from a place of faith. The fact that you come from a broken home does not mean a broken home is going to come from you. You have the privilege to give your children better. All of us can tell when you are doing things out of just to get by. And we can tell when you are doing things out for it. There's a guy I follow on IG, a Nigerian guy. He motivates me. That's what I'm saying, that when I see people that do things out of love, they motivate me. Still made it. I don't know if his parents are rich. I don't know. A lot of times when I meet people that motivate me, I realize, oh, they are opportune. Sometimes there are people that come from, they have sorry stories like you. They have sub stories for these. I tell people that I started out my journey. When they gave birth to me, my parents were living in a cubicle, a one-bedroom apartment. We were lucky enough to move from a one-bedroom apartment to a face me I face you. Do you understand? a one bed. The one bedroom was the actual face my face you, in my opinion. Then we were opportune to move. The other one was the face my face you, a one bedroom with a room and parlor. Actually, we had one room to ourselves and we had a parlor. And my dad, we were three kids. My parents, five. These things, they shaped me. That's my own suffer story. That oh, I saw my parents move from a cubicle into a room and parlor into their own mansion. And the mansion we are talking about is just an okay house for us to sustain. Now, my own story will be that oh, my parents were not sufficient enough. If at all, we used to eat meat maybe once a day. And it wasn't even certain. The only thing that my parents could have certain was that growing up, I used 1 meal a day is a certain thing. They were not rich, they were not sufficient. And over time, from there, it elevated into us having 2 meals. It elevated into us having 3 square meals. From 3 square meals, it elevated into, okay, some days we have 1 meal on our food. It elevated, and that's how I've sustained. My parents have just managed to sustain us like that. And look at the progression in our lives and where I'm at today. It's not that my life is entirely perfect, but some of all these things are not my reality. And I understand that some people have worse sub stories. I've had worse sub stories where people they didn't even have parents. I have people that I was speaking to someone which day and her mom died. And from the moment her mom died, her mom's siblings didn't take care of her. She had to walk. Different stories. You hear sub stories for days. And some of all these people, they have been able to make beauties of their stories. There's no reason why you can't make beauty of yours. And part of how you can make beauty of yours is these things that I'm talking about. I just want to do my part. We live in a country where a lot of people are suffering. And I kind of feel like God has given me the privilege to know these things. And sometimes, the revolution that really changed my life was not even money. It was someone saying something where I was opportune to be. They said it. That was one of the first turning points in my life. I was opportune to come to Lagos when I had scarcity mindset. I saw a lot of boys do a lot of things. And from then onward, I saw young boys my age that were excelling. And it felt like, oh, for these people to excel, why can't I excel? I know our realities are entirely different. Some of these young boys that I saw, some of them it was their parent cars, some of them but at the point I didn't want to care. I just know that since it was achievable by them, it's achievable by me. And I want us to own up the same reality where we know that oh, since it's achievable by so person, it's achievable by me. So with this point of mine, this is a very, very long ass video. But I really hope these topics are very dear to me. I would love to revisit the love that I talked about, because when I was cutting and editing, I felt like oh, I didn't do enough. I think it's enough for now, the knowledge I have. I would love to step out, do some living, come back to some of these topics. I could make a video where I talk about everything at once. I could make a video where I talk about them at different instances like this. But I want you to know, a lot of people do not have this, they don't have luxuries. Osimhen has a very, I read that story, I understood that suffer. Even if I have boys that have had suffer stories. But at the same time, that's a story that I read and I knew that. He said they were living, their house was the actual slum. If you don't Dalesi, they can't even afford to buy things. Wọ́n máa lọ ṣà ní orí ilẹ̀, they will go and pick it from waste bin. So it's like, oh, I found a Puma boot, I found this boot. And look at what he has been able to make of himself. I don't know what your story is. You can make gold of yourself. I want you to always know. My story right now, one of the things I tell myself right now is that my father didn't have what I have right now. When they gave birth to me, they were living in a 1 bedroom apartment. My mom was one lotani. She was blending pepper. It's not a rosy life. And when my parents will tell you their own story, they come from a deeper slum. They were opportune to give me what me I have. And me, I'll be opportune to give my children, inshallah, a far better life than what I was opportune to be given. And that's why when they realized that I had to still suffer, it was painful to them because it felt like they had suffered. So why did I have to suffer again? But look at, I think I needed to connect more with the story. I think that's why I had to suffer. Nobody forced my father to carry me back. But I needed to actually be there. I needed to go through it. And I can say that today because of where I'm at, I can see it from a from a from a point of grace. At the same time, your story, it might be sad, but do you want to remain that sad person and grow like that, or you prefer if you can commit your life and ensure that you change that story? That's the better one. You'll be happier to even say it that, oh, I started from way down, but look at where we are at. Do you understand? I hope with this point I'm able to convince you that you should choose faith over fear. Don't allow fear to be the sole reason why you do things. Don't move from a point of fear. Create security for yourself. I cited the points that made us do this video was that I cited that my friends, our friends, they didn't even try their hands on things before they went to the UK. Now I don't know everybody's story. Some of them they needed that's the security that they felt like they needed. Me, the security I felt I needed, I had created it. So it was like a fair ground for me. I felt like, oh, I could battle it. Them, security they felt they needed. Do you understand? I hope that what I've said today is enough. In mind, might see this video someday, and it's enough to keep them going. I made the videos. I said they make sense to me, and I like to note why they make sense to me. They make sense to me because even I myself, I dabble between faith and fear. I have periods of high confidence, I have periods of low confidence. And one lyrics that I like to go back to is when Zlatan Ibrahimovic said, "Bọ́rọ̀ ìṣe ń bá ẹ wí, bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ló ń bá mi wí." Most of these things, I can always watch them myself and realize, oh, said this thing. When I have periods of up tempo, they are taking light. This video is long as fuck then. Very long. It's very personal to me. That means it was really personal to me. I think it's a suffer nation. Things like this are very essential to me. A lot of people are suffering. We are suffering in Nigeria. I want you to fit it over fear. I want you to do great things. Everybody's capable of great things. Just don't matter. It won't matter in my life. It won't matter in your life. Till we meet again. Tomorrow I'll be talking about something else. Till we meet again.